It is like a trial and error thing. We talked about this in our episode about
We did.
finding your community. It takes some time. So you're going to find some duds. You're going to find some great things. And your duds might be great for somebody else. And it's just
Exactly.
the way it is. So, yeah.
Exactly. That's why you do have to put the time in. So I'm going to stay with the Modern Literary Society. I'm going to stay with the Literature Review and the PBS group. Those are more
Oh, I didn't
like
realize there's a PBS group.
I didn't either. I didn't either. So I'm going to
Nice.
stick with those. I don't know if I'll still be dipping in every single day, but it's nice to have. So I would also like to
But
say that
yeah.
for the first time, no, yes, for the first time, no, for the second time in 3 years, YouTube threw in a black booktuber on my little feed. Like whoa,
Really?
whoa.
My YouTube algorithm is so screwed up because speaking of groups you're in, this Discord that I'm in, we've had so many random discussions about other random things having to do with YouTube that it's screwed up my entire algorithm because like I'll start looking for things because we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about something like for instance we were talking about commonplace books because I kept seeing videos about commonplace books and then I just kept getting videos about commonplace books for like weeks. And then that somehow got all the like philosophy bros in. And then all these
Oh,
other weird people came in.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it was so my whole algorithm's jacked up. So
You wanna
I'm
know what
not
I did?
faulting YouTube right now.
You wanna know
But
what I did last week?
did you literally just spend a week going like black people who read, black
Nope,
girls reading?
nope.
What did you do?
I deleted my entire watch history and search history. Oh yeah, Mama started from scratch.
I didn't know you could do that. But
Oh
I go
yeah,
back through my history all the time where I'm like, what was I watching? Because I
I
fall
do
asleep watching
too.
it.
But I was like, you know what? I have to try something different. Let me try figuring out how to go with a clean slate on YouTube. So I'll let you know how it goes. Like I'm gonna give it like 6 months. I'm being like hyper vigilant about what's being searched for. When I search for those like random things, I go back in and I delete that search query. So I'm testing it out to see how it works with me doing it this way. I shall keep you and the audience posted.
Yes, keep me posted. I will keep
Yeah.
jacking up my YouTube algorithm by just like randomly searching things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
It is so jacked up. It's
Yeah.
fine, whatever.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy
everybody.
New Year. Wow.
She's so happy. She's been like radio silent for 2 weeks. It's been very hard for me to get Naomi. She's been slightly irritating in some aspects, but
I'm so sorry.
but as a result, she has read probably 4,000 books in the last 2 weeks. So
It's just been
she's been living
such
her
a
best life.
glorious. I have. I look forward to my end of year leave. It's my time to just like, restore myself. And man, I really took care of me. I did nothing but read and watch TV like all day and night long. And it was just glorious. I was in a bonnet for like 8 days straight. It was great. It was great. I didn't put on real clothes except for one time. That's because I went out to get sushi and came right back and put back on my loungewear. It was wonderful. Who needs
I
real
like
clothes?
when you send me videos and you're like not in the bonnet and then 2 minutes later you're back in the bonnet, but then you'll
Hmm.
be like out of the bonnet again because you had to go outside and then you're
Yep.
back in the bonnet. I'm like this bonnet is just it's
It's
getting a
get
lot of wear
worked.
on and off, on and off.
It's been
I'd be the
good.
weirdo walking around in my bonnet because I'd be too lazy to go in, swapping back and forth.
Oh well, sometimes like if it's cold
Can
outside,
you
and I
get a
have to run out
fancy
quickly.
bonnet, like an outdoor bonnet?
Um, now see that I don't know, but if it's really cold, I'll keep my bonnet on, then put my winter hat over it because
That makes
nobody will
sense.
know. Nobody's gonna know.
It's true. It's true. They'll never know.
They'll never know. They'll never know. So we're
So
here,
we're
folks.
here.
Our break was
What are we
nice.
talking about? What are we talking about?
Um, so happy New Year, everyone. I think that we probably have some new listeners. So welcome. We are TBR Lowdown. I am Book Lady
TBR.
Reads, and you are.
Nerdy nurseries. And
And
we talk about books
we
a
do
lot.
a lot and other like bookish things. We are your book ladies. We are your book ladies. So if this is your
Old
first
book
time
lady.
here, welcome. Tell a friend. Continue to share. Join in the conversation. Join our Discord. Go to our website, tbrlowdown.com. We've got a lovely reading schedule for the year. We run an
Mm-hmm.
annual reading challenge. We've got some things going on. So just stick around. Become a part of the TBR Lowdown family.
Yes, and definitely. I guess I guess just keep your eyes peeled because there's some new stuff coming your way that we're working on behind the scenes. That'll be kind of fun. So
Absolutely.
there's lots going on. Do you want to start this off like we always start this off?
Hmm.
What are
I
you
sure
reading,
do.
or what have you recently finished, Miss Thang?
I am about 100 pages into this book called The Survivalist by
Mm-hmm.
Kashana Cauley. And this is coming out from Soft Skull Press on January 10th. I'm having
Mm-hmm.
a good time. So you've got this young black lady. She's a lawyer, and she's got this awesome friend Nia, who's like a therapist, but she's like, comes with like a lot of money, so she's, kind of rich or whatever. And their relationship kind of reminds me a little bit of Faye and Joy, and You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. It's like that kind of tight, really like sweet and funny, relationship. I adore them. So the lawyer, what is her name? I just forgot her name. Oh, Aretha. Aretha. She met this guy after going on enough bad dates, right? She met this guy and they seem to really hit it off. And they get to talking and she reveals some things to him. Should I say this? Is it in the synopsis? I don't want to spoil things for people. Okay, I'll go around this. So her parents are both dead. I won't tell how they died. And it's not something she reveals to, every man that she's going on a date with, but she felt really comfortable with him and they were sharing very personal things. And he's also in the Dead Parents Club. And you know how that goes when you both have a shared trauma. And now all of a sudden you feel like instantly connected. It's like, oh wow, this person gets me. I'm not alone in this. I don't feel weird. I've been through it. They've been through it. We're in the same club. So he shares with her that he has his own coffee business. And he's like, well, hey, do you want to see where all the magic happens, right? So let me
Mm-hmm.
pose this question to you. If you were on a date with a guy and he decides to show you where all the coffee magic happens, yes, you, Alyssa, and he wants to show you where all the coffee magic happens, and you see that the name of his coffee company is called Tactical Coffee, and it's a guy with a gun,
Tactical.
Tactical Coffee. And on the coffee bag, it's the logo of like a guy with a gun, like running away from like a doomsday kind of a thing. Would you be alarmed or would you think it's cute?
I'd be very alarmed.
Bingo. All right, so she doesn't know what
I
to
would
think of this.
think I would think he was an incel.
She doesn't know what to think of it. He does tell her that his two business partners, they're kind of like survivalist doomsday people, but he's not really into that. And so the story kind of goes from there. There are these two other characters, which are his business partners, and they're wild. They are a bit sketchy, very secretive. We have not figured them out yet, but there is something going on. I'll give you a little clue. The business partner, Tiffany, has built a bunker in their backyard. Okay, so what I'm saying is you need to get your hands on the Survivalist because I'm already having a good time. There's a lot happening, and I need to see where the story goes. This comes out January 10th. The Survivalist by Kashana Cauley, out from Soft Skull Press. Again, January 10th, pub day. Boop, boop, boop.
I I just feel like that's a slippery slope from like I'm gonna prep for things to now you're I don't know thinking that
Mhm.
You're like transcribing messages from Q. I don't know. It's just it's a no, not for
Uh-huh.
me. I don't know how
Yeah.
she's lasted this long on this date, but you're gonna have to tell me how that one goes.
Oh yeah,
'Cause-
yeah. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. The writing is great and it's really funny. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Um. So I finished at the end of the year our friend Charlotte Powers' first novel. It is a mafia romance. If you
Ooh.
don't like smut, ignore me for the next couple minutes. But it's called Made Beast by Charlotte Powers. It's self-pubbed. It is a really great Beauty and the Beast retelling too. I don't
Hmm.
think I've ever read a mafia romance before. So that was really interesting because like I don't know, there's part of it like I know it's like there's all different kinds of genre of smut that
Yeah.
like people get really like attached to. I don't know if I'm attached to mafia romance in general, but I really enjoyed this. I think Charlotte did a fantastic job of making our beast like he's brutish without being abusive, which is
Hmm.
kind of something that I feel like gets missed a lot in some of these books is they cross
I
that
can
line
imagine.
a little too easily into abusive, which for a 40 almost 40 something year old lady, I don't care. I know what's reality and what to expect in
Mhm.
what to expect in reality and what is fantasy. But for the younger readers, it's a little worrisome sometimes. But
A little bit.
yeah, so you have Emilio, who he gets cursed, like he and his brother get cursed. They're beast people.
Yeah.
They were like big mafia family. And then our oh gosh, what is her name? Lu- Lucia. Um,
Lucia.
she is like Lucia. She is like married off as a marriage of convenience to Emilio, and she falls for him, and he has a monster peen, and it is wonderful. I, it's great. I can't wait for her next one because I want to know what happens with the brother because he's kind of like the angrier of the two. Seems like he's
It's a
got a little bit
series?
more. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know. Awesome. Okay.
yeah, it's a series. There's gonna be another one.
Okay. I
We
have to
get more
get the
monster
physical
peen.
copy because you know I won't do it e-read. I need to get the physical copy.
There's not a lot for me to tell you. There's monster peen. It's well done. It's fun. You'll have a good time. And Charlotte does a really good job of maneuvering the whole like brutish male without being absolutely abusive. I feel like so. Yeah, get your hands on that. Go over, support our friends.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a physical copy because you know me and ebooks don't get along. So
Yes, get a physical
there's
copy.
that. I'm so proud of her.
Me too.
All right, you're next. You're
Oh
next. We've
no, I
got
think Charlotte will
Gabby,
have the second one out. Gabby's getting traditionally pubbed.
but I'm saying like out of our group of all of us, those of you who are writers, like you're next.
I have to stop saying yes to reading books so that I can actually write.
That's the tricky part, right?
Yeah, I was like, we're not going to read as much this year. And then in the first week, I started like 6 books. I was like, what the pork?
But you may slow down as you
Yeah,
get
I'll slow
a
down some
little
more.
more deeper into the year. Are there two
Mhm.
nanos? Is there like some kind of like a summer camp type of nano?
There's
Or am I
Camp
thinking,
Nano. There's Camp Nano, which I don't know if it's a whole month or if it's like a couple weeks in April, I want to say, somewhere in that time of year. And it's not as strict. It's more like a self made goal and you do it at that time. It's not as big, it's not
okay,
as intense, and it doesn't have quite as many participants as like Nano proper.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, there is another Nano that hopefully I can get myself to do. I am very close to finishing this draft of this book, and then I have to edit it. One of my goals for the year is to so there's a website called Vocal, where people publish, poetry and short stories and stuff, kind
hmm,
of like a blog kind of thing. So I want to. There's a short story I've been working on that, like off and on, that I one of my goals for the year is to finish it and put it up there. It's a very
that'd
small
be
goal,
amazing.
but
That's a
that's one of
great
my
goal.
goals. So yeah,
That's fantastic. You're the writer in this duo. I'm just the reader. This lady here has no desire to write any stories. I just want to read all the stories. That's
Yeah,
it.
so that's much easier to read the stories.
I think you're doing pretty good. Now, your Patreon, tell the people because you have a separate Nerdy Nurseries Patreon, right?
I do have a separate Nerdy Nurseries Patreon. Right now there's two tiers. There's just like a really low level, just tip jar, like if you want to, just for people to kind of come in and out, like, if you want to support the channel. Either one gets you into the Discord, and then there's a $5 tier that there's a monthly buddy read that goes along with it. We pick a book and we read it. This month we're reading, I have a copy here. Briefly a Delicious Life, which came out by Nell Stevens. So that's what we're reading this month. We've read um, We Spread by Ian Pierce. Who's, the one with like the pretty cover?
No. What's it called?
Anyway, we Spread.
No, it's not
Ian
ringing a
something.
bell.
Ian Reed? Ian Reed, maybe. And
Okay.
something else. I can't remember what else we read. We read a memoir that was really good. The Dog Flowers one. That's the memoir.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, so it's fun. Right now it's very small. If it gets bigger, maybe we'll do it live in a Zoom, but for now it's just like a Discord discussion on the book. It's very cash. And then I don't know, there might be a higher level tier if I ever think of anything to do that's worth
Yeah.
charging somebody a lot of money for. It's been really, there's been a lot of discussion in this other Discord that I'm on about
Mhm.
different creators and some of their Discords and memberships and like Patreon tiers and
Mhm.
things. There are people out there with like $1,000 tiers where you do, and these are like book people. I don't know what they're doing, but like it's
$1,000
crazy.
tiers. I mean,
Yeah.
what are the benefits of a $1,000? Wait, $1,000 flat fee? Let's get clear. $1,000 flat fee or 1K a month, 1K a quarter? What's happening
Okay,
here?
this is gonna require me to type, and you're not gonna like that. So hold your horses, and you chitty chat. I'm gonna mute myself so you don't get mad at me.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about really quickly. This is a very chatty conversation, folks. We're just, the new year. We want to just talk about some things and introduce you to some things. But I do want to share that I am going to join. What is his name? Benjamin McBoy, something like that. He has a channel called Hardcore Literature that I've been following for quite some time, and he has a really great Patreon where they have a schedule of books that they tackle every year. Now I'm not going to join it until
Naomi, that's the guy I'm talking about. If
oh, I'm
you
gonna join. I
haven't
think
listened,
I'm doing the $25 level. Is that Shakespeare or
okay.
Proust?
So he has. I'm sorry, he's got $100 tier.
Oh yeah, that's that
Um,
VIP level.
So he has his $25 a month tier, which if you're doing his War and Peace, I've already heard some interesting things about that so far. Are you in it?
So that's what I was getting ready to say. I'm not joining his thing until March because I'm reading War and Peace with that footnotes guy on his Discord, and they're reading War and Peace over the course of this whole year.
Okay. Because so far I'm not sure. I feel like I'm slandering people, and there is somebody I know who is doing it. And it's early days. I mean, it's January 3rd, but I don't know when these like deliverables are going to pop up, but
Yeah,
I don't know. It feels like more should be given at this point at $25. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess if he does a lot of work, I just don't know who this guy is. Who is this
I like
guy?
him. I have
You
followed him
like
for at
him?
least 2 years. I like him.
Okay. I don't want to trash talk people on like a podcast. I don't know anything about the guy, but I tried to watch one video, and something about the way in which he speaks turned me off so much. It's like too it felt like pretentious word salad. Naomi, I couldn't do it.
I like him. I
I mean,
probably
I'm glad
watched
you
all his
clearly a lot of people
videos.
clearly a lot of people like him. He's got a huge following. He has people. He's sold out of his top 2 tiers. Yeah,
I'll tell
no,
you why. Because if you want to join a reading group where you actually break down the book, he's a good person to be under.
I hope so for $25 a month.
Yeah, so I had to cut some of my other Patreons so I can do this one. So because I can't like spend all my money on Patreons, I had to like pick and choose. I wanted to do his Patreon last year, but I was just too much going on. I said, but next year I'm gonna do it, but not until March because I'm not doing War and Peace with him. I'm doing it with the other group.
Well, I really do hope that it's for everybody who's doing it. I'm not really trying to seriously diss this person. I don't know this person. They could provide immense value. Not everybody is
Yeah,
for everybody. Um, but I do hope that when you do join his Discord, you get a lot of value out of it and you enjoy
yes,
it, and that
but
it
it's
is
a
worth
vibe, right?
your
Like your
money.
initial vibe was not cool,
Yeah, I
so
just
you have to
my
go with your
vibe with him
vibe.
was like absolutely not, absolutely not. Like I just couldn't. That is not my kind of person.
I will keep you posted. I will definitely keep you posted.
But I
But
am seriously curious about these. I think it was like his video where he talks about all the books he and the Discord are reading
mhm,
this year.
mhm,
And I was really interested in a lot of the books he was reading. Also,
mhm,
I thought it was insane some of these things that he was doing. Like, what else do you do with your life that if you're going to read War and Peace, there was something else really large, two or three other really large books, and all of the collective works of Shakespeare, plus
mhm.
any number of smaller. What else are you doing with your life?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm gonna
I
find out.
maybe this is all that he does. Maybe he's living our dream and he is actually getting to read all the time.
I think he's living our dream, at least part of it. I think he's living our dream. Yeah. Hmm.
But do you really think that I don't know. I'm shutting up. We're on a podcast. I'm not here to make enemies, but
I don't. I mean, we're just discussing. We're just discussing.
I just
Yeah.
don't know if there's this like self-help guru aspect of the way he talks about books, like they're going to solve all of your world problems if you read War and Peace.
I
And I
think
just
that he
don't
has.
think that that's how it works.
I think that he's also made an argument of like you can get somewhat of a university level of education just by reading certain books. Like
I
you
don't
don't
disagree with that.
necessarily have to go to school to major in English lit. You could just read these books and learn how to read them and analyze them instead of spending thousands of dollars to go to school to get an English lit degree. You don't really have to do that. You can still,
I agree with that.
yeah.
Because maybe I like don't totally disagree with him. I just can't get on board with the vibe. The vibe is not my vibe.
Right, right. Look,
But I
if
really
you're gonna
hope
pay
that,
money,
especially for the money that he is
hmm
delivering, because that I mean, I would assume he is, because it seems like a lot of people follow him, and if he hasn't been delivering, I feel like somebody would have complained by now.
I have run across not like in his own comments of his videos over the years, people seem to be happy with his Patreon. And then in the new groups of Facebook, there's a lot of his members. And I haven't ever heard a negative thing. So that's what also tipped me over the edge
So
last year. I
maybe
was like,
this
I'm
is
gonna
just an
join.
Alyssa thing. This is an Alyssa vibe thing, and nothing more.
But that's
I just
cool.
really want to know for $100 a month, what are these four people getting?
They get to
What?
discuss it with
What?
him live, I think, and they get to ask him questions.
Wow.
And some people
Living,
really want
yeah,
to do that.
he is living our dream.
Yeah, basically. Basically.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's the beginning of 2023. We have to set intentions. We have to set
Mm-hmm.
out, the vibes for the year.
For
We're
sure.
gonna we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna welcome in some of our dreams here, Naomi. We're going
Yes.
to have a more bookish life. We're going to,
Yes.
yes, everybody, bring on that bookish abundance with us.
Yes. This is what we need. This is what we need. This is what we need.
Well, I do, I
So,
to be positive. I do think that that is. a really great initiative to teach people literature and to make it not be like, you know, extremely expensive and gatekeeping that
Yeah.
because they are books. Books, I don't believe books should be gate kept. It's
Right.
part of why it's hard for me to be so square, so square, so black and white on that whole what's that thing that was called? Z library and all of
Oh.
those
Mhm.
pirating things. There's a lot of other people that aren't, northern hemisphere, western worlds people that have a much greater access to documents and
Mhm.
information. There's a lot more nuance in the world. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like things that support more open sourceness. Not that having a Patreon with a paywall is open source, but you know what I mean.
But it's an alternative option to learning literature, which I think is great.
I mean, even if you're just in there for like a 4-month stint or something while you're reading
Yeah.
one of these big chunky books,
Mhm.
that is significantly cheaper than a lot of things. I mean,
30 to forty
even
thousand
just a
dollars
year of
for
Skillshare is like $200 a year. So
right. Exactly.
what's the difference?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to go over our share with people our 2023 reading schedule, which personally I'm quite excited about.
I'm super
Very much
psyched
so.
about what we're doing this year.
Mhm.
So we decided to scale some things back to make room for other things. One of the
Yes.
things that came out of 2022 was we really liked breaking down books that both of us read, like the Vladimir episode. And just by
Oh,
looking at him, those are some of my favorites that we
it's
did.
mine too.
Um,
Mine
So
too.
we scaled back some of that reading so that we can do more other books together in between bigger group books. And it also gives us some space when we possibly announce something else, maybe end of month. I don't know. We're figuring it
Mhm.
out. I have to
Mhm.
finish doing some stuff
Mhm.
in the background. So just to give us some room for some special other reads, we reduced it to every other month. And do you have it in front of you? Because I don't think I
Yes, I
have
do.
it in front. Do
Mhm.
you wanna walk through so we're
Yeah.
reading what? January, we're reading
Right.
Boulder.
So, Boulder by Eva Baltazar, and it's translated from the Catalan by Julia
Oh, it's
Sanchez.
Catalan.
And
I don't
so
know why I thought it was
everything
French.
about TBR Lowdown is on our website, tbrlowdown.com. So if you go there, you can see the reading schedule, the synopsis of all the books, and all that good stuff. So January is Boulder by Eva Baltazar. March is My Pen is the Wing of a Bird, new fiction by Afghan women by 18
I
Afghan women. What were
this
you
is
going to say
my
about
this
that?
is my pick. This is
This
my
is your
pick.
baby.
I
This is your
like
baby.
this is my baby. I have 2 babies on this list, and then Naomi basically got to pick anything else she wanted because I wanted my 2 babies on this list.
Yes. And May is also Alyssa's baby, and that is Greek Lessons by Han Kang. Very excited about that. And that is translated from the Korean
Korean.
by
You
Deborah
said by Honka.
Smith
Mhm.
and Emily Ye Won. So that's for May. And then June is Sphinx by Anna Garetta, translated from the French by Emma Ramadan. And what month am I on? September.
Make
September is Tentacle by Rita Indiana, translated from the Spanish by Achi Obeas. That's probably wrong, but it's on the website again. And then the last month, November, is Miss Iceland by I can't even pronounce this. And I'm not going to
Oh
try,
gosh.
but it's
Icelandic
translated from the
names.
Icelandic, right? So again, everything is on the website for you to read through what each book is about. And we have a Discord set up for the reading schedule. You can also
Mhm.
find that link on our website. So please join so we can discuss these books together. But we're really excited about these 6 selections. I'm super psyched.
I'm really psyched. I'm already reading Greek lessons because I have an e-arc of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I already have some basic thoughts, but we can talk about them later. But
Yes.
yeah, no, I'm really super, super psyched that we freed ourselves up for some other space to do some
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah,
We have a big summer read,
we do. We do.
which we'll talk
And
about more when we get closer to it, but that is our Chain Gang All Stars, correct?
yes, I was just going to pull there so I can get his name. And I just You know how things sometimes click so late. I kept asking myself, why does this person's name sound so familiar? He's the guy that wrote Friday Black, which I'm gonna
I don't know
order.
that book.
It's I think it's a collection of stories, but I like to read that before we read Chain Gang All Stars. Um, I don't want to butcher his name, but his name is Nana Kwame. I'm not going to try, but it's Chain Gang All Stars, and that is going to be our summer read, and that
Hmm.
comes out in April. So pre-order if you can. Pre-orders help authors a great deal, so pre-order if you can. And I'm really
Yes,
looking forward to
especially
getting
in the
into that.
wake of the Barnes and Noble stuff. Sorry to talk over you. I know
Hmm.
that everyone hates when I do that. I'm sorry. Uh,
I know we're bad.
I know we're so bad, but especially in the wake of everything that happened with Barnes and Noble last year and all of that hullabaloo, please
Hmm.
get your pre-orders in for anything that you were looking forward to for the year. They help people tremendously, and especially
Yeah,
for our marginalized creators, they may actually get books on shelves,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
important.
and
Um,
very much so.
Very, very much so. We also launched a Substack newsletter, which Naomi is
Woo!
very excited about, and we'll be each contributing things to it sort of sporadically every month, and there'll be some more, just basic announcements going out. But I would definitely encourage you guys to join, subscribe, whatever the thing is, the term.
Yep,
Um, to everything's on our website, so you can find
yep.
everything there. Do that. And then we do have one other thing brewing in the
Hmm.
wings that we'll
Well, let's talk
announce when
about
it's ready.
12 Women, 12 Countries.
Oh,
This
yes. I
is,
keep forgetting
yeah,
about that one.
this
That's that
is
little
year
thing that
two.
we have. It's year two of
Yeah, so
12 Women,
last
12
year,
Countries.
yeah, last year we launched a reading challenge, 12 Women, 12 Countries. This is year two. We're excited about it. And the goal is to read 12 books written by women from 12 different countries, different than your own. So we've got, this year we have the prompts on Storygraph so that you can participate and track all your stuff over there. But if you don't want to
Hmm.
do that, you can also just follow the hashtag on Instagram just to get like book recommendations. And if you want to post about it on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, just make sure you use the hashtag. So all those posts are collected so everyone else can see what's going on and get ideas on what books to read. But we encourage you to do the story graph and to join the Discord. You're raising your hand.
Naomi, you always forget that TikTok exists. There is a little TBR Lowdown
I
TikTok,
know, but are we gonna? Is it
and
gonna be banned forever? Are they gonna ban it? You're right. We're on
ban what?
TikTok. TikTok.
What did they ban?
No, you know how like. Well, let's not even get into it. We are on TikTok. Tell the people because I do always forget about it. Oh, Alyssa
After
doesn't
the
know
show,
because she
you're gonna
works
have
in the
to explain
hospital. Because Tik.
what.
Well, you know they don't want TikTok to exist because the stealing of data. It's a big thing.
But like nobody cares. We're all still using it.
But
Have you seen this new thing the children are doing called Be Real, where you get random prompts? Like when it pings, you just have to take a picture of whatever the hell you're doing. Does
yes,
that
I've
not
done it.
sound like you're getting stopped? You have a Be Real account?
No, but people put it over on the Instagram, right? It's the same thing.
Like I think it's a whole like social network, but I guess it's the same concept.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, you
This
have
is
to
just
school me
two
on that.
old these are two old dementia ladies having a conversation in the nursing
I
home is
know.
what this is
Bear with
right
us
now.
hang on a minute. Bear with us for a minute. What is this? What is this thing you're talking about? This is a new network. I need to know about it.
There's a new social media network thing that's called Be Real. Oh,
Okay.
and apparently you have to take a picture of like you get like some ping at some point. I know very little about this. I found out about this today. You get some sort of like ping about it and get pinged, and then when you get pinged, you have to just take a picture of like basically whatever you're doing. So like, in real time sharing your life
Oh,
with
never mind. That
whoever
sounds
your
dumb.
friends are.
Okay. I'm
It
not
sounds
interested.
like you're
Okay.
gonna get stalked. Like, remember that thing you sent me about the guy who figured out how to like use all the cameras that are out there on CCTV and like could find where you took the
Scary.
picture?
It's
Yeah, and now you're
terrifying.
gonna be doing this in real time and sending it out on the internet? No, children, don't do
Yeah,
it. It's not worth
that's
it.
a hard pass for me.
Remember
Okay,
when
I
you
thought it was
wanted a
something more
clean
exciting than that.
No, remember when you wanted a clean recording and the dogs decided to bark? Anyway,
Well,
uh,
the dogs are like, whatever, I don't care. Okay, I thought it was more exciting
uh,
than that. Okay, that doesn't excite
no,
me. Okay, never mind. Carry on. Back to
no,
our TikTok.
no. Yes, we have a TikTok account that China may or may not steal your information while you use, but we do have a TikTok account. If you prefer to be over on Book Talk, please feel free to share the 12 Women, 12 Countries over there. Let's infiltrate Book Talk and bring some higher brow literature to the TikTok world.
Yes, let's do it. Highbrow literature.
And Naomi will forever forget that there is a TikTok. I am
I will
constantly
forever
like,
forget there's a TikTok. All right, let me just explain to the people so they know. I love TikTok. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I post my favorite TikToks in my stories every single day. However, I do not go to TikTok for book talk. That's the issue.
no.
When I think books, I don't think TikTok because that's not why I go to enjoy TikTok. So I have to get used to the fact that we're actually on TikTok. So thank
My
you for
oh my
reminding
whole
me.
TikTok is like ADHD hacks and like I don't know, doom scrolling news and dogs with like the occasional book thrown in. So
Oh,
don't
that's so
worry.
funny.
My TikTok's
That's
crazy too.
hilarious.
Hey, I found some good ADHD hacks. I'll give you one. So, you know those like dish scrubbers that have like you can put the soap inside of it and has like a
Mm-hmm.
sponge or a scrubby head and it
Yes,
gives
I
it
have one.
so the hack is to do that and you fill it with like vinegar and Dawn and make like sort of
Yeah.
like a power Dawn thing. Hang it in your shower and while you're in the shower, scrub down the shower. So every time you're in the shower, you just give it a little scrubby scrub.
That's not bad.
It's a
That's
good
not
one.
bad.
It's a good
I
one.
can I can get down with that one.
Because you know how you like hate scrub, especially if you have a tub
Yeah.
shower too. It's like the worst thing in the world. Just to because you know you never want to get down on the ground, and even if you get stuff to like not have to get down on the ground, you eventually have to get down on the ground because you can't get into. You're already in there. It's all hot and
Wow.
steamy. Just scrub it.
I mean, I have separate, but still. That's a good hack. I like that. I like that a
There you
lot.
go. Courtesy of TikTok. Nothing to do with bucks, but you're all welcome. My
Boom.
fellow
You're
people who
welcome.
have brains that are normal adjacent.
Yeah. All right. So I know you want to say one more thing. Just to recap again, tbrlowdown.com. You can find our 2023 reading schedule and all the information about 12 Women, 12 Countries. So we implore you to go over there and get all the deets and join the Discord so that we can chat about all of the books. All of the books.
What's the one more thing I wanted
I
to
don't know. I thought
say?
you had something else to say. Maybe I misread you.
I do not recall.
Two old ladies here. We don't recall a lot of things.
To all the new listeners, this is the fun that you have in store for you.
Oh, for the new listeners who don't know, so we are an audio and a video podcast. So when you're listening to the audio version, that is a more cleaned up version of the podcast. If you go watch the podcast on YouTube, that is uncut, unedited. So just know that there's a difference. It's a different vibe.
It has what do you say? Shenanigans?
Shenananery and tomfoolery. So
It's a whole different vibe, and it is its
yeah,
own channel now. It used to live on my channel. It no longer lives there. It lives on its own channel. TBR
yep,
Lowdown in 2023 has grown up, and it is its own adult channel of thing.
yes,
Not adult channel. It's not an
yes,
adult channel, but you know what I mean. It's a grown up
yes. Oh yeah,
channel.
it's not that.
It's not an adult channel.
Oh my goodness, you know what we mean, folks. So
Uh,
it's
it might
we
make
are
more money
just.
if it was an adult channel. Anyway.
I mean, do I need to throw in a toe or foot in every now and then?
Oops, my sock fell off.
Whoopsie! Oh my
Oh
goodness, we're too
God.
much.
we should wrap this up because we've gone off the deep end.
Yeah. Well, recommendation time.
Recommendation time.
You want to kick that off?
Sure, I'll give you a novella. This is Even Though I Knew the End by C.L. Polk. I read this near the end of the year last year. It
Hmm.
came out last year. I can't remember when. November. Okay, so that's good. So this is like, if you like, there's not a lot I can say to you about this because I mean it is super short and I'm going to spill a lot of things. But here's what I'm going to give you. If you like sort of film noir vibes, think like
Mm-hmm.
40s, lots of like sort of sassiness and mystery. If you like magic, if you like mysteries, if you like lesbianism, I would read this.
Mm.
It's sad and beautiful, and it starts off really well. Like it's really engaging from the first page. You start and our main character is photographing a crime scene, and in that setup you find out all about this magical world that they live in. The main character's magic, this deal the main character makes. You find out about her love interest and all this other stuff, and it is so good. It will kind of make you want to cry. It's sort of bittersweet,
Mm.
but absolutely beautiful. And I love this, and I'm so happy that Tor sent
Mm.
me a copy of it because it's just fantastic.
That sounds
Yeah, and I don't
lovely.
have a lot to tell you because I don't want to spoil it, but the vibes are perfect and the writing is great, and I just loved it.
That's
That is all.
wonderful. All
Nice and
right.
simple.
Well, for those of you who are new here, you need to know
Oh
I'm not your
God, is
YA
it going to be
girl.
Elena Ferrante?
No, that's later. You just wait
Oh.
for it, man. That's another episode. You just wait. You because you know it's coming. You know it's coming. But for those of you who are new here, listen, I'm not your YA girl, okay?
Mhm.
It takes a really special YA to grab my attention enough for me to even want to read it, okay? All right.
I know
Those
what
of
it
you who
is.
like YA out there, that's great. Do your thing. I'm just really selective because most of it disappoints me. However, The Davenports by Crystal Marquis. This is coming out from Penguin Teen, I think January 31st. When I say this brought me all the joy, it really did bring me all the joy. It's not just that it has a beautiful cover, but it really was just a lovely story. You've got the Davenports, this wonderful family. They have a carriage company. They're very well off, okay? This is wealthy black people just living their lives, having a good, grand old damn time, okay? That's number one. Was here for it. There's two sisters, Olivia and Helen. I think Helen was my favorite. It's time for them to start the whole courting season thing. Just think Bridgerton, right? It's that time. We got to get you ladies married, okay? We got to get you a husband. You got to get off of daddy's bankroll and you got to get a man, okay? It's time. And so they're in the courting process, and Olivia is hooked up with a guy that her parents found, and she seems to like him. He sort of seems to like her, sort of, but there's something not quite right. Something really isn't clicking. And then you have Helen, who is not your typical quote unquote girl. She is in the garage with the other mechanics working on the carriages and whatnot because this is her thing. She likes to tinker. She wants to get her hands dirty. She's got the mind for it. And this is all she wants to do is be a part of her father's company. But of course, the dad doesn't see her as being a part of the company. So you've got that whole struggle going. Helen doesn't really want to get married. She's not interested. However, perhaps love is in her future. Maybe. You're going to have to read the book to find out. And then you have the help in the house, one of which her name is Amy Rose. Her mom passed away when she was very young, so the Davenports kind of took her on, gave her a quote unquote job, so she's not, familyless. And she may or may not have a crush on someone in the Davenport family, maybe the Davenport son. I don't know. You're going to have to read it to find out. What I'm saying is, this book is delicious. It's joyous. It's marvelous. You need to get your hands on it. The Davenports. It comes out January 31st. And it's a series. Okay? Boom. It's a
Oh, you
series.
get
I'm
more.
I'm going to get more. I'm going to get more.
That's
This is the kind of YA I can read. It didn't, you know what it was? The way she writes, she wasn't writing down to the reader. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. It didn't feel that young. It was great. I loved it so much. I mean, smiling the whole time. And the way she left things off, oh ma'am. Oh Crystal.
Oh,
Oh
Crystal.
Crystal.
I love how much you love things when you love them.
Message for the author. If you have a draft of book 2, I would be more than willing to read it.
She will alpha read that.
Oh. Also, if you're new here,
But
we do have a shop on bookshop.org. And in our
yes.
shop, in our shop, we have several different lists of book recommendations. So do take some time to go over there and see all of our curated book list. I'm sure there's something on there that you would want to pick up and read.
Yes, there's lots of things over there.
Hmm. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
So please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube if you would like to see the uncut videos, and make sure you leave a review over on iTunes. They love
Yes.
a review.
Yes, they
Um,
do.
so.
Yes, they do. Yes,
Oh,
they
and
do.
subscribe to our Substack.
Yes. Go to
That would
tbrlowdown.com
bring
and click on newsletter. Boom.
that will make Naomi so happy.
So happy. If you do it, I'll sing Celebrate by Kool and the Gang. I promise.
Oh my god. Special
Someone out there just
content.
said, "Who's Kool and the Gang?"
We'll put that on TikTok. No, we will put that on TikTok. Get
We'll
our
put that
like
in the
if our
newsletter.
subscribers hit 100, if we get 100 subscribers to the newsletter, I will make Naomi put out a TikTok where she sings "Cool in the Gang."
I will. I will.
Hmm.
I'll bring
Can
backup
hot
singers
brother
too.
can hot brother like play with you too? Like,
Yeah.
can you like come in and give you some beats
He
or something like in the
You know what?
background
We'll
to
go
like give
verse
you
by
some
verse.
music?
That's what Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yep.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
we need to get hot brother more time on the internet. Anyway,
I know. I know. I know. My brother.
if I can't have him,
Oh,
you know
you're
what's
so
gonna happen
funny.
is I'm finally gonna meet your brother and I'm gonna be mortified.
Oh, shall I have him meet us at
Hmm.
McKay in the spring?
I would shit my pants.
Oh goodness. Well, guys, welcome to TBR Lowdown.
Yeah, we're special over here.
So special over here. We like to have a good time. We like talking books. So just stick around. Stick around. All
Yep.
right, let's wrap it up. I'm done. We've got another
Uh,
one to record before we shut
Naomi, I
this
think
day
we were
down.
done about 25 minutes ago. Anyway.
Basically. All right, folks, we're out of here. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Bye.